Hello YouTube, Paradox Infinity, Flapjack here. So, as our first news video, we might as well go over something big, such as the gigantic update that just came out. It just came out on June 20th, so that's fun. And so, anyways, the 800-pound gorilla in the room, if you will, is the new map, Horizon Lunar Colony. Now, what does this mean? Well, we have a new map in rotation. It's automatically put into competitive plays, so I'm a little bit dicey about that because it has some interesting high ground and low ground, but we'll probably do a map review some other time. On the next thing, there are the Oni Genji and Officer Diva skins have now been added to classic loot boxes, so that means that you can get them by just leveling up and getting loot boxes, or, buying loot boxes, so you don't have to do those special requirements anymore. I guess that makes them a little less rare, but, that's just how things go. Now, in the custom game and game browser, player gravity and projectile gravity can now be modified. So that means that you can, have low gravity battles on any of the maps. And I don't know if the low gravity stacks on Lunar Colony with the outside area. I don't know. We should test that out. We can do that on a map review. So then knockback magnitude can now be modified, so that means that you can adjust knockback abilities to make them knock you back way farther, or to have them just knock you back a little bit. I think it'd be cool to have, Farah's rockets or her concussion blast just shoot you halfway across the map. Oh god, there's gonna be so much fun with that. And now you can adjust your jump height, so that's, pretty simple. Now, first off, the first update to Hero is McCree. This is mainly to his, actually it's entirely to his ultimate Deadeye. So that means that targets now begin locking on after 0.2 seconds instead of 0.8. Now that means that instead of taking almost a full second to lock onto somebody, it takes only a fifth. It goes from being one of the weakest ultimates in the game to being a potential team wipe. So that's awesome, right? And then damage accumulated over the first 1.0 seconds increased from 20 to 80 damage per second. So that means that you can take out bigger targets faster. So that prevents, players from Roadhog to be able to just turn around and hook you. So that's going to be helpful. And now Reaper, he's going into a interesting place now. They've removed the health orbs, but that doesn't mean he doesn't heal anymore. Instead, he now regains 20% of all damage done as health. So I think that changes his mentality of, instead of having to get those kills, instead of having to constantly go out and overextend sometimes, you can just get some poke. Anyways, this changes him from being able to take out, big tanks. Instead, if they don't have their shield up or if their shield is knocked out, it means that he can just shred through them. Because that's what he's designed to be. He's designed to be the tank killer. So this is a much needed change because the health orbs just weren't really doing enough. And on to Roadhog. Oh god. Alright, this is probably the worst one of them all. If you're a Roadhog main, I'm sorry, Roadhog is dead. We shall hold a funeral.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Okay, so the head hitbox is now reduced by 20. So I guess that's a nice change because his hitbox was greatly expanded when he's taking a breather. So I guess that would make things a little bit easier. And then for his scrap gun, there's some gigantic buffs and nerfs. So the big gigantic nerf is that damage is reduced by 33%. Now, this means that he can't one-shot all the squishies anymore. Some of them will still survive. And so to try to compensate at least, is his fire rate is increased by 30% and his clip is increased from 4 to 5. Now, this means that he's going to be able to consistently put out more damage, but he's just not going to be able to get those one-shots. And I personally do not like this change, because I like to play Roadhog, and I feel like the hook was a major part of how he played, because now sometimes you can't even one-shot people. In fact, when you try to one-shot Reaper, he's going to start regaining health super fast, and since you don't have a shield or anything, he's going to shred through you. So in fact, hooking in a Reaper is going to be a death sentence, basically. So yeah, I'm not really a big fan of this, because it turns him into just a higher health Reaper with a hook. But, things are subject to change. So yeah. And then there's just, user interface updates, but you guys don't care about that. And then bug fixes, yeah, I don't think you guys care about that. So yeah, thank you for watching, and see you next time.